first question to you.
Hey, Marcell, welcome back. I just wanted to know why, what was the biggest draw in coming back to the Braves, and was that at the top of his list all along after his 1 year with the team?
Yeah, for me, I just gonna say thanks God, thanks Lord, give me the opportunity the same. So I tryna give you the opportunity to them as a free agency. I just wait the last moment to then get into the conversation and Stenstein to try to resign again, and finally we made it, and I feel happy that they be with the team. So last year was an amazing year for me and the team and all the organization and the coaching staff. I love them, and we tricking good, and we have a good relationship. And as a player, is the most comfortable that you can have. You had it right there.
Gracias.
Anybody else have a question? Back to you, Dave.
Okay. Alex, where does this, how high was this on the priority list? And did it ever kind of worry you that it was taking this long, or is that just the way this market was playing out?
Yeah, look, we said this, I think at the beginning of the offseason, would love to have him back. I didn't know Marcell, obviously, when we signed him. We did a lot of work on him. And I told him this several times during the year. I was impressed with the person as the performance. Obviously, he played really well, but getting to know him a little bit over the course of the season, very accountable, responsible, tremendous teammate, very honest, humble at the same time, just everything that you want. And I think, like he talked about a little bit just now, I think our environment really fit him well, and we got the best out of him. And he helped the team in so many ways, both on the field and in the room. Did you wait for the DL decision, hoping that it would be made, or all along did you think, you know what, either way, we still want him back because of all that he brought, what you just said? Yeah, we wanted him back. Obviously, we wanted a righted middle of the order bat if we could. That was the ideal scenario for us. And like anything, sometimes these things just take time. So, but he was definitely a priority. You don't know how things are going to go, but and having spoken to him, I knew that Atlanta was his first choice, and he was our first choice, and we're glad that we were able to get it done.
Jeff?
Yeah, following that up, Alex, and also for Marcell, was there a point in this offseason where either of you or both of you thought you would not be back or he would not be back? Either one first, doesn't matter.
I'll let Marcell go there.
What? Repeat again. The poor connection.
Was there a point this offseason, or even when last season ended, where you believed you would not be back with the Braves because of the market?
Sometimes, yes. The market was higher when I finished the season. Soon as the season end up, the market going drop down, and then all of those players, there wasn't a free agency. They like trying to find a way to get a new play. So my mind was always with Atlanta, because I just wanted them say something to resign me back. So I just give it over the time the opportunity. My door was open to them. So I wasn't at the market, find a new place, but at the same time I just still waiting for their decision,
Alex?
Yeah, no. Did I feel like, look, you don't know how things are going to go, but were there ever moments I felt that, we definitely weren't bringing him back or wasn't coming back? No. I think we obviously, like everybody, we follow the market as things are going on. And, I felt confident just, knowing I felt Marcell was sincere that Atlanta's where he wanted to be, and that we were his first choice. And, most times when that occurs, that, they'll give you last crack when the time comes. So I think sometimes players need to go through the process and see what's out there, see what their offers are. And then when they're ready to make a decision and ready to sign, we're able to get something done fast.
Allison?
Marcell, how much did the decision also come down to that this team was just one win away from going to the World Series and being on a championship caliber team and having the chance to win?
What you say?
How much for you was it just about also being on a team that has the chance to go to a World Series and being so close last year, just a win away? Was it about also winning and like joining a team that had the chance to win for you? And did we lose him?
Yeah, we last year we was having so the only the team at the right time. So we pass things that we can control is like play the game, enjoy the game, have fun. That's the only way that you can success at this game. That's what I learned from since I'm start playing baseball. I every year I learn something. So this year was too close to make it to make the goals that I want in my career.
David?
Yeah, I have a question for Alex about Marcell's defense. A lot of people have varying opinions there on the quality of his defense. Defensive metrics, frankly, vary on that. What do the team's internal metrics say? And, and what are the plans for Marcell on, in the outfield?
Yeah, Marcell is our everyday left fielder. Look, he still played quite a bit of outfield last year. I think it was 19 games or so. I think he's played a lot more left field the last few years, so he looked more comfortable there. I think we put him out in right field twice. Marcell's got very good speed. That'll be, for those that want to look up StatCast and things like that. He runs well, he has good speed. And, I feel like when Marcell was out there and left the field, it was solid. And I know that he worked hard all the time with our coaches. It's something that he's continued to talk about, to always continue to be a great player, offensively, defensively, running the bases as well. But I'll say this about Marcell, he's about winning. I think you may not remember this, but I think St. Louis was the first time he had made the playoffs. And I remember that came up at one point last season, like, hey, I've only made the playoffs once. And being in the postseason is the most important thing to me. And I remember when Snit talked to him about, hey, if we're going to put in Adam Duvall, who's a Gold Glove caliber defender, in for defense, or move guys around, or DH, or whatever it was, Marcell's answer was always, whatever helps the team win, own it. And a lot of players will just say it and not mean it. But Marcell meant it the whole way. He wasn't worried about free agency or this or money. Hey, if this makes the team better, I'm going to do it. And, when you see that, everyone falls in love with him. He's a great teammate. The coaches love him. The manager loves him. Anything that the team needs, he's going to do. So, and if he needs to work more or do this or do that, he's going to do it. So we're excited about him, but we think he can be very solid in left.
Yeah, very quick follow-up on that. Do you think the criticism of Marcell's defense is unwarranted?
I think what happens is, Marcell was obviously center field, Gold Glove, and so on. And, when you're a star player like he is, and you're a great player, everyone looks at every little thing, and if you make one bad play, people remember that when there's a bunch of good plays. I mean, he robbed a home run last year. I know he's smiling now because he remembers when he went up in the wall and he robbed the home run. And I've seen him make a lot of really good plays too. So, he's obviously a tremendous talent, valuable player. And look, I don't want to speak for him. He's on this call, but I know he takes a lot of pride in being as good a player as he can be on all sides.
Cody?
And Marcell, I'll just ask you, how does it feel when people say that you're a DH or and nothing else, and you can't play in the outfield anymore? How does that make you feel?
It made me feel bad, but at the same time, I just know who I am. So I know worry about the people saying like you can't play outfield because in the past, last year was my only year that I played DH. So what happened the year before? So I don't wanna complain with nobody. I don't wanna like discuss with nobody. You say, oh, you think I'm at the age? It's okay. So whatever the people say, I'm good with that. So I take in the positive to myself and the negative, I put it away.
Steve?
Yes, for Alex, what made this all work for you too on a long-term basis? It's we've seen you make plenty of 1-year deals and everything. What made this work long-term for you?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's the Braves, or me, or we get talked about only doing short-term deals. It's not something that we seek out to do. We look at every player individually. There was no, I've heard different things about we were at a certain number of years and then we moved up to 4. We were never at 3 years or 2 years and we negotiated up to 4. 4 was the sweet spot for us. I've told Marcell this too. He reminds me a lot of Edwin Encarnacion when we had him in Toronto. Just his demeanor, presence, the person. Edwin was one of my favorite players as a human being. Marcell's right there, getting to know him. He's one of my favorite players that have been around in 10 years of being a GM. So, to have from age 30 to 33, and then obviously have the option for age 34, I think those are great years for him. So, he's someone that he's a middle of the order bat. I think what he brings to the team, to the clubhouse, stability, all the other players knowing he's one of our core guys now. It's not someone that we wanted to do a short-term deal with. Our interest was long-term, not short-term. So, contrary to what may or may have been out there, we wanted a 4-year deal. That's what it was. And, we were glad to have that. We definitely wanted to go long rather than short because of him as a human being, as what we know about him, what he brings, having that stability. I trust him a lot. I trust the person. I trust the worker. I trust the teammate. I've talked to him about this directly a lot, just what it means to get a long-term deal and what it means to be a core guy and the extra responsibility and the example that you set for the young players and everything else. And he's a guy I trust to handle that load beyond what I think he's going to do on the field. So he was critically important for us to have as a long-term core piece.
Thanks.
Mark?
Marcell, how much did your situation change after you posted that Instagram message the other day? At that point in time, did you even think
What?
when you posted that Instagram message the other day?
What?
What's that?
Yeah, why you say about my post that I did in Instagram?
How much did the situation change at that point in time? Did you think the Braves were a possibility?
Hey, I don't understand what you're saying. What is it? Because it's cut.
Let's say 2 or 3 days ago, did you think you'd be back with the Braves?
You know what? I was thinking going to somewhere else, but because I didn't hear anything about the Braves, and I asked my agent, like, hey, what the Braves say, what Alex say, and sometimes, my phone wasn't on the side because I don't want to worry about what are my agent and the team negotiating and doing all of those things. And what was Friday? I went to my friend's house and we talked, and my agent called me like, "Hey, you got a time for me?" And I say, "Why?" Because I gotta show you something. The race, Tampa Rays sent me. I say, okay. They send me a couple of options. And then I say, I don't like it. We'll see what the Braves say. And as soon as the Braves, Alex brings on, I say, hey, let's figure it out. Working on this. Tell them that I need more this. Tell them they figure out this number here. So I say, okay, you know what? I'll go with them. Let's go.
Alex, did you feel like it happened that quickly too?
Oh yeah, no, he's like I said, Marcel's honest. He nailed it. That's why, I know it can be irritating at times for media fans, and that a lot of stuff does not get out. And trust me, I'm a sports fan, and I follow the Hawks, the Falcons a lot here now in Atlanta with my kids, and I want to follow stuff too. But to do our jobs, it's better to keep things quiet. So there was no offer that we moved up or changed. It was real quick. It was done in a day. It started in one day and it ended in one day. There was, we stayed in contact, but we didn't talk contract until a day or two ago. And that's the first time we talked contract, and it was done quick.
Ali, I got a question for you.
Sure.
If you was think signing Marcell Ozuna is like easy, what you should do after the season end?
If I thought it was easy,
Yeah.
hey, we're February 6th. Not easy. Long time.
No, that's what I say. Like, what you should do, sign me at the end of the season.
I wish, but at the end of the day, as long as we get it done by opening day, we get it done. So
That's the best question.
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, he should be on the other side.
That's the best question of all.
I'll say this about Marcell, and I said this, if there was ever anything that came up during the year, you saw something, you're concerned, never makes excuses, ever. Never comes up with excuses, this, that, accountable players you'll ever see. And I think what you guys are seeing today, it's a lot of people, I think, in the industry didn't realize this, including me. So it's just, he's a great guy to have a relationship with, and he's great for the team. So excited to have him. So.
Jeff, can you follow that question up?
I think I can. First of all, Marcell, don't feel bad because we don't get direct answers sometimes either. So,
Okay.
Alex, you've had to say the least, a pretty productive offseason. You re-signed your cleanup hitter, which a lot of people, including myself, did not think you'd be able to do. And you added 2 starting pitchers. Do you take and I understand, players still have to play the game, but do you take any sense of pride in that? And kind of a second part of it, how much of that has to do with your belief that you believe the team is in a championship window?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of pride and things like that, I just don't think about it that way. Like you said, guys have to play. So you can have all these plans in the offseason and sign players and make trades, and guys don't play well, or guys get hurt. Or I've said this to you guys many times. I spend more time worrying about what we don't have, or how we can get better, or how things can go wrong. I think that keeps me on my toes. And even when we're playing, if I know we've won the division by anywhere from 5 to 6 games, I guess, the last few years, it's felt like we've won it by a game on the last day of the season each year. Has not been stress-free at all. Look, do I think we're in a competitive championship window? Sure, no doubt about it. Look, when we signed Marcell a year ago, I'm not normally in the habit of giving up a draft pick on a 1-year deal. I struggled a lot with giving up a draft pick on a 1-year deal, but we had a really good team. He was a really important piece. And I know I said this at the time when we signed him last year to a 1-year deal. Hey, we get to know him a little bit, and creates the comfort to potentially do a long-term deal. We weren't prepared to do that a year ago, but getting to know him, getting him around our players, around our coaches and our staff, I wasn't worried about the length or the years or things like that. I know he's going to work hard. I know he's going to take care of his body. He's got tremendous pride. He wants to win. So we needed that season to feel comfortable about that and to give him this type of contract. It's obviously from free agent standpoint, it's the second, from my standpoint as a GM, it's the second highest free agent contract I've ever awarded. Martin in Toronto was the highest. And it's certainly the highest since my time with the Braves free agent contract. But no doubt where we are as a team, where he's at in his career, where our core is, he fits really well.
Back to you, Dave.
Alex, since you didn't answer our colleague, Mr. Ozuna's question, I'm going to assume that you wanted to see how the market played out before you made your offer. What else can you, go ahead.
No, I'll answer that. So why at the beginning of the off season? Beginning of the off season, there was a lot of uncertainty from a team payroll standpoint, from an industry standpoint. We obviously, we declined the option on Darren O'Day. We non-tendered Adam Duvall. It took us time to get through all that kind of stuff. I know that Marcell enjoys this. So, but, and look, a lot of times when guys get to free agency, it takes time. I mean, I have questions for him too, but I won't do it in front of the group. So I'll do it when I get him in spring training. But no, it's, you know, it just took time for things to develop. It was pretty fluid. We wanted to give ourselves as much flexibility early in the offseason because there was uncertainty. It took us a little bit of time to have a sense of where we would be from a payroll standpoint and so on, to work through those things. And no doubt, you know, I think we were 28th in staff ERA in terms of the rotation. We absolutely needed to do something there to get through 6 months. The rotation was really important to get that done. But the bottom line is he was a priority. We wanted to get it done. I'm glad that we got it done and he signed and he's going to be here for a long time.
And my follow-up was, do you think between now and spring training, is that important to get your remaining needs taken care of, or can you take it right up to opening day? I mean, you still have other moves to make?
With no DH, our position players are pretty much set. Marcell in left. Obviously, center field is going to be competition. Right field, Acuna could play center field as well. So if Acuna does slide to center, we could get another outfielder. In terms of the infield, that's pretty much set. And we can always add to the bullpen. We feel pretty good about the rotation at this point. So I think now it's more just being opportunistic. If we think, you know, there's a player out there that makes sense, good value and so on, we'll do it. But again, I've said this before, we're not going to force a deal. There's a very real scenario that you might just see some minor league signings, things like that. And this is the group that we go into spring with.
Thank you.
Allison?
Hey, Marcell, we've seen some of the reactions from your teammates on social media and Twitter. Who's reached out to you from the Braves and what have they said to you? Who was the first to reach out that they're pumped you're back?
Oh, I talked to Harvey. I talked to Freeman. He say, vámonos, like in Spanish, like let's go. And most of the staff and coaching staff send me a text. And I feel good to be with the team. You know, the experience that I learned last year with them was my best experience in my life. So I'm proud that they be Atlanta Brave players, and let's see what happens. Let's roll this year and the next year and the next year. And then when I finish, if they want to give me more, I take more. So I'm open with that and give it my best. Always.
I guess just a quick follow-up. What made this clubhouse? Why did you connect with them so much more compared to other ones you've been in? What makes them so much fun?
I gonna have a bad day at the field, but no as a person. You know what I mean? It's just two different things that the people had to have in life. So if I'm going to work, I'm going happy. So if I do it wrong at work, I still happy because not every day you're gonna be perfect. Not every day you're gonna make the world right. You know, so you have to be like always in good mood. So no complain, no upset for something that the people do and that you don't like. It's no matter if he do it, he know what he do. So I don't worry about. I just come happy and bringing energy. Like let's go, vamos, pump it up. Music, loud, talk, have fun, a joke, everything.
Chris?
Hey, Alex, real quick, if we take the word easy out of negotiations, has it changed though? Is it easier now than maybe it used to be? And then the follow-up to that is, do you think we've seen something now that might stick around where signings aren't November, December rushes? They might actually bleed certainly into January and February.
No, look, it's always hard. Anytime you're talking contracts, things like that, it's hard. It takes time. You have to be patient. It's not enjoyable. You know, Marcell can put his phone to the side and relax and have his house and not worry about it. But when we're working in the office, we have to stress and worry about it and try to make the team better and all those kind of things. But, you know, the one thing I'll say is Atlanta, and it's a credit to the community, clearly the fan base, the support staff, right? I'm down in that clubhouse hours upon hours in a day. What makes that place a great environment is the support staff and the people, and it makes it an attractive place to be. So I don't have anything to do with that. That's a credit to the people that work here, that make it a great place to play, where players like Marcell want to be here, and obviously the ability to win. And it's a good place to play. You know, I talk about it a lot. I have a lot of, when we talk to agents, Atlanta's a very desirable place. You know, a lot of players see it. It's a fun clubhouse. It's a good group of guys. We put a lot of time in that, and it's a priority for us. But these are not easy. They're always a grind. You're just glad when you get the result that you want.
Steve?
Yeah, Alex, I don't know if have you talked to Freddie since this happened, and is it a stretch at all to wonder about how this might affect the ongoing negotiations with him as far as trying to get him extended?
Well, Freddie sent me a text too. He was very excited because now he gets Marcell to hit behind him. You know, and obviously he loves Marcell as a teammate too, and everything else. In terms of the negotiations, I'm going to get Marcell to do his deal because he can do it fast and early. So Marcell will be handling the Freddie Freeman deal, so he can do it and see what it's like to be a GM. But look, in terms of Freddie, you know, just like this, we're going to keep it very, very private. We want to keep him. That goes without saying. I can't say enough about him as a player and everything he brings and he means. But just like Marcell, all I said at the end of the season was we'd love to have him back. And beyond that, you don't know how things are going to go. Same thing with Freddie. We want him back. We want him to continue as a Brave. And then the rest, I hope, is the next time, hopefully we're not doing a Zoom call. You know,
Yeah.
we can announce that he's here for a long period of time.
Well, I might ask Marcell then how much he's looking forward to playing with Freddie for more than one more year. I don't know if he heard that, Marcell. I think we're breaking up there. Marcell, can you hear me?
You know, last year I was like, I wasn't last year like in my mind like, oh my God, I'm only gonna play 1 year with Freddie. I like to play with him because for me, he's one of the hitters that I can understand more than any hitter I hit behind him. So with him, it's like he go there, grind it, hit a foul ball in the knee, and he doesn't like a pain or something. He's like a strong man. He give you everything for the teammate. So he doesn't like talk. I have a player that doesn't like talk so much. but I find a way they get off a smile or get in conversation with them, you know.
Right.
I'm a kind of player that they always like find something to make him people happy, you know. To the people all the time thinking like in the right way, though, like oh, that's funny, and smile and laugh, and I like it. Something that you cannot complain all the day, you know.
Right. Thanks, Marcell.
Jeff?
Alex, I know you always say that you always have something to worry about, but is there any way at all to compare how you feel about this roster right now compared to the previous 2 or 3 off seasons going into spring training?
I mean, 2018 was my first year, right? So it's just, hey, I got to learn the team, the roster, the staff. So I didn't have any, other than being new to the organization. Going into 2019, yeah, you know what? I guess you're never satisfied. You could always look like, if we had one more bat or one more reliever, is our bench strong enough? So, and look, a big part of this is health too, right? You need some guys to step up and have big years. And then there's other guys that you might have expectations for that don't perform as well or get hurt. So, I say this, you want to have as much depth as you can. Things go wrong. You have guys that could step in and get the job done. So, you look at last year, Matzik and Minter, 2 guys that really stepped up in our bullpen. Those were, no one expected that going into the year. Adam Duvall taking an everyday role and I think being 3rd in the NL in home runs. That wasn't expected as well. So you need some things to break right. But, I never look back at rosters from one year to the other. You're just looking to try to build as competitive a team as you can, as deep a team as you can. And the one thing, you don't react to it, but you pay attention to it, that the NL East has gotten better. I mean, all 5 clubs, obviously 2 of us made the playoffs with Miami and us, and those other clubs that did make the playoffs got a lot better. It's going to be a grind. I worry about this division each year, and every club's gotten better and improved. So I expect it to be really, really tough.
Beyond the obvious, which is don't get injured, is there anything you've learned as a GM over the last couple of years in terms of what it takes to build a championship roster?
I think like anything, I think you do. You try to learn from each year. So I could tell you, 2018, losing to the Dodgers in the playoffs, we didn't have enough power, and that led to the Donaldson signing. 2019, bullpen, I felt like we're just a little bit short, and then having to live through trade deadline. We were successful. We got some deals done, but just like, we were talking about before with any negotiations, trade deadline, having to go get bullpen help, a lot of it. I don't want to be in that position again. And we were pretty aggressive last offseason getting bullpen, whether that's Martin, O'Day, Smith, really solidifying the bullpen. So now, look, we had a really good club. I think we had a World Series caliber club. I thought so in 2019 as well. You need things to break right and so on, but I think everybody on our roster believes that we're capable of winning the World Series. So, having a deep bullpen was critically important. I think in the playoffs, our rotation did a great job. That was certainly something that you take away from there. Is as good as the offense was, we needed a pitch from the rotation because all these staffs are really good. So that led to the Morton and Smiley signings, certainly, and to try to get through 6 months. But you're always learning. You're always learning, and you need to adjust at all times.
Thanks.
Well, we have no more questions. So thank you, Alex. Thank you, Marcell. And thank you guys for the time. Have a good day, everyone.
All right, guys. See you.